Let's see. All right. So what's going on? Hope y'all are having a great day. I wanted to just drop a quick, nugget. Um, um, I wanted to drop a quick nugget. Um, and it's about knowing what's related to what, and that in music, some everything's related in one way, shape, or form. So I'm gonna use an example here. Hold on a second. Let me just pull this up. The iPad. All right. So here we go. So we're gonna take this tune here for a second, right? So I'll just play. I'll play from here to here, right? So I'll just play the chords. So C major 7, C minor 7 to F7 to B flat major 7, right? And then B flat minor 7, E flat 7 to A flat major 7, and then D minor 7, G7 flat 9 to back to C major 7, right? So this may seem pretty daunting, or pretty, might be a lot, but you can break this down into something very simple, right? So we're talking about looking at things that are related, right? So we're starting on C major here, right? C major 7, right? Right? And then you have C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7. So instead of looking at each chord as its own separate entity, right? Look at how they're related, right? So the way that they're related is by, um, it's a 2-5-1. So like we're in the key of, it's like we're going to the key of B flat, right? So it's a C minor 7. I'll go back to the other screen for a second. All right, there we go. So C minor 7, right? Then we have F7 going to B flat major 7, right? Now, knowing how these chords are related to each other, it's a lot bigger than just, oh, all right, these chords are related because of what key it's going to, right? We're gonna go down to, let's see. All right, so we're gonna go down here. So the B flat minor 7 to E flat 7 going to A flat major 7, right? It's the same kind of pattern, right? So instead of just thinking about each chord as its own thing, let's look at the relationship between the three chords, right? So if I take these three chords here, this is a 2-5-1 in A flat major. So, right? Now we can do the same thing here with these next set of chords, right? So D minor 7, G7 with a flat 9, going to C major, right? Again, instead of looking at each chord as its own separate thing, look at how they're related, right? So D minor 7, G7 flat 9 going to C major. It's a 2-5-1 going back to C. Right? So if you wanted to break this down even further, this right here is a pattern, right? So start off with C major, and then it's a 2-5-1 to B flat, 2-5-1 to A flat, and 2-5-1 back to C. Right? So I bring up the relationship part because when you understand when you understand how things are related, there's a good chance that you will remember it because you understand how the these small moving parts work together, right? So if I'm, on a gig, or if you're on a gig, and you like, or a jam session, and you get asked, or you ask, okay, how does this particular song go? They'll say, okay, 251 B flat. No, actually, going to C major, 251 B flat, 251 to A flat, and 251 back to C. Right? You'll remember that a lot faster, and you picked it up a lot faster than, okay, it's C major, then C minor, F7, B flat major, and just spelling everything out. It'll be, too much to remember. So, now another byproduct of learning about learning how these chords work together is, because you know that you have these 251 patterns here. Let me go back to this page here. There we go. So when we get back to, this page here, and we look at these patterns, right? In my head, I'm thinking this is B flat major, right? And right here, I'm thinking A flat major. And then here, I'm thinking C major, right? So that means that once I play this, start with a C major, and I want a solo, I can just, let's see, I'm gonna go back. All right, so I play that C major, and then if I do that 251 in B major, I'm just gonna play notes that are in the B flat major scale. So, right, I'm already in the key of B flat, right, and then instead of thinking, okay, I got to go to B flat, then go to E flat dominant 7, and back to, A flat major 7, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go to the key of A flat major, which is a whole step lower than B flat. So I'm just gonna do the same kind of pattern or the same kind of thing in the key of A flat. So, right, so now, right, now it starts to get a little weird because if you look, all right, hold on a second there. All right, so if you look, let me erase that. So if you look at the A flat and the D minor 7, right? If you take a look at that there, now you gotta have to look at how these two chords will connect, right? So the way that you figure this out is take the notes that are in the A flat major 7 chord. I'm using a different thing there, something thinner. There we go. So you have A flat, C, it's like a G, A flat, C, E flat, G, right? So that's what the notes are in the A flat major 7 chord, and then take the notes here from D minor 7. So I have D, F, A, C. Boy, it's kind of weird writing with this Apple Pencil here. All right, so now when you break down these notes and you spell them out, now I look for 3 things. And I do it in this order. I look for notes that are in common. Then I look for notes that are half a step apart. Then I look for notes that are more than half a step apart, so like a whole step, or maybe a minor third or something. So let's look at what notes are in common, right? So I look here and I see that the note C is in common with both chords, right? So I'll just connect those two like that, right? Then I start to look at, all right, what notes are half a step apart, right? So I look here, okay, A flat, and then I see A, right? So A flat and A are a half step apart. So I have that as an option, right? Another, let's see, two other notes that are half step apart. Okay, so I have the E flat here, and then I have the note D. So that's a half a step apart. So, right? Now I start to look for notes that are more than a half step apart. So now I look at G going to F, right? Because that's a whole step apart. So, all right. So if I were to just work this out, so going back to that C major, right? 2-5-1, right? Right? Right, so I have the E flat there, that half step. As a matter of fact, I'll put the notes back on here so you can see. All right. All right, so I ended on that A flat major, right? So now I can go a half step down, right? So you notice how it connected really, really nicely, right? So now let's say I went to the A flat. Let's say I ended on the C. You know, so we do that. Let's try another option that we had here. That the E flat. Was it the E flat going to D? We did that, right? Yeah, we did that already. So let's try the A flat going to A. So let's say we did the line. Let's see. Right. Right. So notice that understanding the relationships between two chords that aren't necessarily close like that. If you look for the common tones and you look for the half steps, those that are half step apart, it'll help you connect your lines better, and you can actually play your chords a lot smoother because, you know, I mean, you don't want your chords to jump all over the place. So like, all right. Yeah, so just look for the relationship between, you know, any two chords or any three chords, you know, because it'll make everything a lot easier, and I believe that your ideas and what you want to play will be more fluid because you're not just thinking chord, 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 chord. You're just thinking as, you know, you're thinking as one big entity, you know, 2-5-1s or 6-2-5-1s, whatever it is. So just look for what's related, and everything will just, you know, be a lot smoother. So you know, you can hit me up if you have any questions, or if you have any questions that you want to ask. You can just send me a send me a message in the inbox. I still have slots available, you know, for private lessons and stuff. I do have an online course also, and the online course is gonna be also more thorough, and the lessons will be more thorough also. So you know, just feel free to send me a message if you're interested. I still have some slots available. All right, peace.